Welcome, folks. Time for recap on what's been happening. I start with this lovely video I got from this lady who everybody's overawed with her skills of what they think are of geopolitical observations. But let me just tell you, she's just a knockoff. Whatever she brings out has either been played in the U.S. press or global presses over time, whether it has to do with China, etc., etc. Now, the new one she's got out there is there's a guy out who is a general podcaster and saying, I'm amazed how this video is not viraling because this lady is just gone and taken off on the US human rights record. But let me just tell you, people who are all saying, oh, look at the West, look at the West. That's okay. That's all about the West. The West has its own best and worst critics inside. I'm asking this Pallavi Joshi or whatever her name is, she does for WION, is she strong enough to say what's happening within India? And the issues with our human rights and our democratic principles, she won't. She is not strong enough, folks. So unless you can balance this, don't send me these videos which go on about the West is doing this and the West is doing this. Because at the end of the day, can you do this? Trump indicted in porn star hush money case of 2016. First former US president to face criminal charges. Nixon, on the other hand, had resigned way before this could happen, right? And then you have this NSA. I don't know how he manages with the SCO. Must respect territorial integrity, says Dole. Is he a little bit? I can't understand our foreign policy. Russia is in Ukraine. Russia has taken over Crimea. China is sitting in all of South China Sea, claiming islands left, right, and center. China is in Arunachal. China is in Bhutan. China is in Ladakh. And he's saying, respect territorial integrity. We have just become a showpiece for these two rogues. How West is hijacking G20. This is Denis Alipov. Let me just say, and he's the Russian ambassador to India. The people who are hijacking India, the G20, are Russia and China. BJP Congress face off as Germany takes note of Rahul's verdict, and this is exactly what happens when domestic politics and Modi, everybody talking of foreign powers, and I'm saying to myself, during Indira Gandhi's time, you could say foreign powers, and you pointed the finger straight at the United States. Now, who is he pointing the finger at? I can only see China and Russia interfering with our foreign policy and domestic politics, and nobody else. China skips G20 meet in Arunachal. Pakistan will do so in J&K. So here we go. India overrides objections by Pak to host G20 meet in J&K. Like I said, who are the bad boys who are going to mess up G20? Between Vladimir and Volodymyr, consensus language on Ukraine has fallen away at G20. One thing India is focusing on is to dehyphenate its relations with Russia from China. China's belligerent support. Ain't happening, not possible. Doval, Patrushev may discuss Pak-Ukraine defense access. Now, this is really funny. Pakistan is supplying arms to Ukraine. We are one of the left libs of Russia and China, and we don't know what to do. India keeps close watch as EU leaders make beeline for China, and I'm not seeing this play out in the US. So I am not seeing this a big concern as Dipanjan Roy Chowdhury is, right? Tensions rise as US-Russia defer over drone incident. Will continue strategic ties with India, says Russia. And right off the back of it, in the same newspaper, US says that we are not allies, strategic allies, but we will continue to help. Government plans to build Vladivostok satellite city. This is an important move, right? To counter China in the Pacific. But is Russia going to play that game? Russia needs India there because China, if you don't know, is slowly hogging up the Siberian area. Putin hails investment trade ties with India. What that means is just a one-way trade, folks. Go look at the figures for the last 10 years. Finland wins final okay to join NATO in a diplomatic strategic defeat for Putin. NATO open to engaging India's informal talks held. US representative. This is important. Germany, UK deliver tanks to Ukraine. Russia test missiles. And when you talk about land, folks, and you suddenly have China is not sitting in our land. None other than the Prime Minister. You see how that's played havoc into our foreign policy. Now what do? Bhutan PM, no intrusion comment adds to India's discomfort. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, you dancing fire foreign minister? What are we gonna do? Bhutan, China has equal say in resolving Doklam dispute. What are you gonna say? The biggest error ever made was giving a clean check to China. India, Bangladesh inaugurate cross-border energy pipeline. And this is an important part. Japan to connect landlocked Northeast with Bangladesh. This is happening, folks. China vows retaliation over Taiwan-US meet. I don't even know why we are not stepping out and helping Taiwan, because as this person writes, Elbridge Colby, the real and acute threat of a Sino-US conflict over Taiwan. The prospects of an attack by China on Taiwan and thus a war with the United States and its allied forces are not mere speculations, but a real danger. Such a conflict, and especially an American defeat, would have direct and grave implications for India. So India's got to step in. And you know China's up to no good at all, right? Experts, journalists in India approached by fake academics for information in suspected Chinese op. This is fascinating. China has been cultivating local influences wherever it can. And I'm telling you, Indian Express is one of them, folks. Just watch this space. In blow to Taiwan, Honduras to seek ties with China. Somebody is going to come out and help good old Taiwan on this one, folks, to counter this. Cheers.